So I've been talking a lot about how I'm not interested in Lantern Control. I'll never play it. Why would you even ask me about that? And then I had an idea for the deck, which is a lot of times how it happens. Like, I'm just not very interested in an archetype until we have an idea on how to make it interesting. Um, I really wanted to cast Restore Balance. I think that Restore Balance is a card that got a lot of buffs over the last couple years with specifically Beseech the Mirror and to a lesser extent Profane Tutor, where um, you don't have to cascade into Restore Balance. You can either go Profane Tutor for As Foretold and use As Foretold to cast it from your hand, or you can go Profane Tutor on turn 4 for Beseech the Mirror. You can just draw Beseech the Mirror. You can just draw As Foretold Restore Balance. You can also go Beseech, cast Restore Balance, and this allows you to play cards that cost less than 3 mana. You don't have to cascade into it, which is interesting, an interesting dynamic to build a deck. And I think that of all of the shells for Beseech the Mirror, this is the shell that makes like the most sense by a lot. They also unbanned Mox Opal, and Mox Opal is a card that one plays kind of well with like the Beseech the Mirror shell, right? So this allows you to both like have this turn 4 card be castable on turn 3 sometimes, which is a really, really big deal. Sometimes you can play As Foretold early. And of course, it's a Mox. Mox are good with balance because balance doesn't care about them. So I was looking to try to figure out like a Beseech the Mirror Mox Opal shell, and then like we've played like this kind of deck before. We had Karn the Great Creator, we had the Teferi Time Raveler. It was like, you know, not the worst. It might have actually been the worst. But I was looking at this and I'm like, is there another plan? Is there another, like, I just wish we could play a bunch of artifacts in this deck. And I'm like, holy shit. Lantern Control is, it's just kind of perfect in this deck. Where one, obviously the big thing is Restore Balance doesn't care about, like, sacking these artifacts. You get to play them out, you get to balance, and your artifacts are still in play. But, like, post-balance, being able to Lantern Control your opponents is just incredible. Like, you just strip them all of their resources. And a big problem with balanced decks is you do that to yourself too. You restore balance and you're both top decking, and sometimes you get out top decked. That's literally the problem with restore balance, is that you get out top decked. And this Lantern Control is how you don't get out top decked. It just like really clicked. It just really clicked. Should we have one cookbook in case we draw such balances? Do you have As Foretold to get them out of the hand? Cookbook, you can play cookbook. We're not so in on the Ensnaring Bridge plan too. Cookbook could be okay. This is still an early draft, of course. I've been in Atlanta. Yeah, win condition is Codex Shredder milling your opponent, which is fine. I see a Vexing Bauble, Restore Balance, Profane Tutor, Beseech, As Foretold, Mirror. No, Vexing Bauble is not an issue. You just sack the Vexing Bauble. If it, like, you just kind of play it preemptively against decks where it matters, I think you just sack it. I think it's okay to just have one. Same thing as like in like Vintage, right? Okay. Anything else big here? Oh, I guess one thing is I really want to still be very heavy on the discard. For in an earlier draft, I only had like the 4 Thoughtseizes, but the problem is like beating Stony Silence, Collector Oof is just like, I think it's like not really possible unless you like discard it and then lantern them. So I think you just want to be really in on discard spells and matchups that have, or you think could have Stony Silence, and to like a lesser extent Meltdown. Yeah, you can also kill with Constructs. We also have a Kaheera, and you might be wondering, why do we have Kaheera? You can't cast it. You can cast it. You just like get an As Foretold up to 3. You put the Kaheera in play, and that's worth it. Cross 23 months. I mean, we might not need to play the Bauble, but it at the very least is not such a nombo. Did I build this deck on the airplane? I was thinking about it a little bit on the airplane, and then I ended up building it this morning. Again, you know, I wish I could have play tested it, but I've been in Atlanta all weekend. My flight also got delayed yesterday, so I got in. Are you downstairs, Esther? No, I got it after 10 p.m. sometime. No main deck relic. Yeah, you could main deck a relic. I have Graveyard Hate in the sideboard. It's Nihil Spellbomb instead. Maybe it should be relic instead. I don't know. This is an early draft, and it's an early draft. I'm gonna mulligan this one. Balanced decks, of course. Notorious for mulliganing pretty well. We also have Zuran Orb to sack our lands post-balance, which is fun. I'm going to keep this one. Let's go ahead and put back the Zuran Orb, though. I'm going to go ahead and lead on... We lead on the Thoughtseize. Ooh, they're playing Mardu Gorios. Taking the Kali is kind of a risk, because then they could just draw Gorios, but I guess they would have to draw that plus big thing, so let's take the Kalia. May I ask you a question in regards to your Jeskai looting list? Why isn't there a blue-white Surveyor land in the deck? I have added a blue-white Surveyor land to the deck. At least in the like twin build. I think I've cut the lore revealed, I've added a blue-white Surveyor land, and that has been a positive change in my mind. I spoke, another month, another sub, thank you so much. So, yep, have added that. I agree it should be in there. Okay, there's Agorio's Vengeance. Oh boy. We're lanterning. We are lanterning. I agree it should be there. How important are the 4 tunes? It was a weak card in the past. I think I kind of disagree that it's like that it was a super weak card. I think it was I disagree. I disagree that tune is a weak card. I think that it is very important to be able to go tune into Wrath of the Skies and tune into Galvanic Discharge. Tune into Galvanic Discharge kills Oculus, kills Hollow One, and you got to be able to do that really quick. And then obviously a similar effect for Wrath of the Skies. And it's also just, it's a 1 mana blue card and pitches to force. How come no Counterspell or Spell Snare in the list? Okay, Counterspell is not a very good card in Modern. Force of Negation is a lot better. You're also tapping out a lot. Counterspell is very tough on the mana, and it's also not very well positioned. Snare is like also I think worse than Spell Pierce. Maybe you think it's better than Spell Pierce. Play it, not rocket science. What's the answer to Mercside since they have no verdict? Galvanic Discharge plus tune the narrative. Okay, so a lot of questions. May I ask you some questions? Okay, thank you. You did ask some questions. Thank you. How did I do in the event this weekend? I missed day 2 by a little bit. Trying to remember my exact. Like, I think I lost in like the next to last round. I got standarded pretty bad. I did a lot of mulliganing. I did a lot of flooding. But the actual match that. Okay, probably end up shredding myself to try to find a land for Beseech. The actual like round that I got eliminated from, I was playing against Convoke with a Gix's Command in game 2. And I had like 3 lands, Gix's Command, lots of interaction. I didn't find my 5th land until like turn 8. And by then my opponent top decked a counterspell and I lost. And then game 3, I have Gix's Command. I have a 2-land hand with double Spyglass Siren. And I'm stuck on 4 lands till like turn 8, and I never draw my 5th land. And like my very first match, I win game 1 against Gruul. I played Dimir midrange. I lose. Game 2, I go removal, shielded. Lose that game really badly. Then game 3, I keep a hand that's 4 lands, 2 removal spells. I draw another removal spell off the top, and then I literally draw only lands the rest of the game. I got standarded a lot. Okay, they just concede. Nice. A lot of standarding. Okay, so their deck is a Stony Silence deck as I built it. Oh no, what have I done? Probably do I want a bridge? I think a bridge is fine. I'm gonna cut the needle. Need all the removal. But I had fun. It was okay. I also say I don't think Dimir was like a super good choice for the weekend. It was kind of like a last minute audible. I wish I had played the Golgari deck. Probably that would have been really fun. Maybe I don't need the bridge. Let's cut the bridge. Still got to make 2 more cuts. You know what? We can actually go down to Beseech. We can go down to land. It's kind of weird, but I don't like it. Yeah, let's be Shell 2 at Atlanta. Why doesn't Lancer Control ever play Karn? I've actually played Lancer Control card with Tron lands before, and it was kind of okay. But Karn is just not good in these kind of decks. Is the short answer. Yeah, I had this Golgari Reanimator deck. We played it on stream a bunch. But it was also playing Beanstalk, all of the Black Overlords, and Smuggler Surprise. And I had really liked that deck. But I didn't have the time to get all the reps in. That deck was also pretty expensive, so you know. Not that time. Yeah, getting to 4 mana is tough, but also like it's kind of Karn is kind of win more in Lancer because like you only would want to play it when you have the board kind of controlled too. You know what I mean? Yeah, poor Doom getting Sunfold out of the tournament. He had such a good run. I did go to the aquarium yesterday. It was nice. Atlanta Aquarium is really good. Did I see Mikey won his RCQ? Dingo? I did not see that. That's cool. Okay. Kalia and Flage in the yard. I did trim a land. Wise choice, huh? Oh, Mike Hopkins. Woo! Very cool, Nick. Okay, exiles my Grafdigger's Cage, so I guess we'll see if the Nihil Spellbomb I get off the Saga here is enough to slow them down. And then hopefully maybe we're gonna set up for if that's not the case, we could try to go Beseech the Mirror for restore balance and get a Zuran Orb off the Urza Saga. Although it looks like they're 1 mana short of escaping this Flage. But they've Goryo's the Kalia. And they have the Gristlebrand hitting me for 11 or 9, sorry. I mean, I guess if they don't have a fear of missing out, and they did exert the Arena of Glory, so maybe tougher for them to, well, wait, they ephemerated Kalia? Oh, right, because of the Goryos. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't. I guess it doesn't matter so much, but I did mean to tap that. Okay, well, let's try to live. We can't afford to sack any lands for life. Oh, they Goryo's the Kali. Sorry, they didn't exert. Right. So we're just dead to like a fetch land. Maybe they won't go for it. I don't know. Seems tough. Before the Grief Bane, you had to brew for Jet Medallion with Tower, Phyrexian Tower with Grief Gone. Is that gone? Yeah, I think the Grief Bane did kill that deck. I have seen Ristic Studies' Lantern video. Great video. Alright, it's game 3 we go. Is 6 playable Modern? Yeah, we've played a lot of 6 in Modern, but 6 is good. We have like an Eldrazi build that plays it. You can play it in Underworld Breach. It's like, oh, I have it like as a Green Sun target in the Restarted Valakut deck that I like. I think we have to mulligan that. It's kind of a close one. Well, this hand's also not particularly good, but I think I'm going to keep it instead of going to 5, and we can get a Mox Opal. How do you feel about Rhinos in the current meta? Rhinos is fine. I think that Rhinos probably can never like really be as dominant as it used to be though, because it just like there's like Oculus is a 5/5 and Psychic Frog is a 4/5 and like Guide plus Pride can be pretty tough to beat if you don't have like cheap removal into Rhinos. And it just kind of seems there's a lot of built-in insurance for that deck. What do you think about the Eldrazi ramp builds that run 11 to 12 7 drops? It seems extremely excessive. They usually drop Thoughts here. 11 to 12 7 drops. I mean, I think it's fine. Like if like I'm sure some of them are Null Drifter, which don't really play like 7 drops very often. So we've drawn our Mox Opal, which means that we can get a Lantern next turn. Obviously, we need to draw a basic land for a Borderpost at some point. Is Saga even good in this deck? Yeah, it tutors like every spell in our deck. What do you mean, is Saga good? I could also use the Lantern to dig for lands, potentially. Well, my opponent's hand is awful, so that's good news. Saga also, like, it's a land that goes to the graveyard in your Restore Balance deck. Alright, definitely want to Lantern their land. Or sorry, shred their land. Yeah, I'll do that again. So this could kill an enchantment. but they can't cast the Wear without a land. They have another one on top, so let's go ahead and Lantern ourselves and maybe try to find a land here. Sorry, I keep saying Lantern. Shred ourselves. Getting shredded. Okay, so just thinking about Profane Tutor versus... I am drawing a land next turn. This means that I can Beseech the Mirror for Restore Balance and make them discard all but 2 cards in their hand. And then they're drawing a Thoughtseize next turn, so now I don't really have to... You don't really have to do that. I can also, like, get, like, Tutor up Restore Balance now. Ooh, it's an interesting draw. I guess I'm not going to draw it because I'm the Profane Tutor. But now what I could do is I could Tutor up the Restore Balance with Profane Tutor, and then I could Beseech for... I could Beseech for As Foretold, and then I could make them discard their entire hand. And then I just have Lantern Shredder. And this, I feel like these two plans complement each other in like just such an interesting and powerful way. We are going to lose a land, but if we get the As Foretold off the Beseech, then we won't mind that so much. I'm going to sack the Mox Opal. So they're going to keep 1 card in their hand now, but just discard 6 cards. Click done to sacrifice the rest. I don't see a done button. Is that better than besieging for another shredder effect? Making them discard 6 cards? I think so. Okay, there's the done button. I was glad we're not bugged. I think so. That's a lot of cards to make them discard. Seems pretty good to me. Yeah, I think this deck is beautiful. Alright, so they keep just a Wear Tear in their hand. They want a lot of these cards in the yard, but I've got the Nihil Spellbomb. Oh, there's still the Beseech on top. I guess it was not exactly on top anymore. So, I guess I main phase this so that I can Inquisition the Wear Tear. Oh, but then they will just kill my As Foretold. They're gonna forget, I think. Yeah. As a Lantern player, it's important that you can sense when your opponent's will to live is fading. Okay, so they can draw that FOMO. Reginald with the 30 months. Thank you so much. Welcome back. So yeah, I think I will just go and grab a second Codex Shredder. Oh, right. I don't have... Sorry about that. I don't have the 4th mana anymore. Get it next turn. Wait, did I cast that with As Foretold? I think I did cast that with As Foretold just now. It's okay, we can't lose, but... Okay, I did not, also. Nurburg with the 27 months. Hope you're doing well today, my friend. A land? I will not abide that. M3 with the 20 months. Thank you, welcome back. You have Salted Ephemera? Yeah, I think that's okay. I can Restore Balance again if I want to. Okay, let's wait a turn and then let's be able to do that with Zuran Orb and kill that last land. Don't want to Kaheera right now, of course, because I'm about to Restore Balance. And what's your problem is World Breaker that is usable whether milled or not? It's a problem. It's a problem for sure. I don't think we're super favored against Lantern, but I will say the Restore Balance game plan gives us a much more comprehensive plan than regular Lantern. Hey, Doom. Congrats on your run this weekend. Oh, I do think I only have one Restore Balance left in the deck. That's okay, though. Is this the first league? It's the first league and the first match. You haven't missed anything. We missed a little bit. Why not Profane Tutor this turn and Restore Balance next turn? Use As Foretold both times. Well, if I cast Profane Tutor, I shuffle away the Zuran Orb, which I want to keep so I can win the game immediately. Okay, so we go cast Zuran Orb, cast Profane Tutor, grab the last Beseech the Mirror, Lantern Control, Flawless Victory. I guess I could have sacked the Zuran Orb because we probably not going to sack all of our lands again. Yeah, but now it's just like they have no cards in hand, they have no board, they have no no creatures, and I just have Lantern double Shredder. Guess that's a GG. GG to you too. Can I look at my standard reanimator? I'm not sure if I'm playing the right amount of reanimation targets. You want between 6 to 8. We've had a lot of a little bit too like if lately it's been I look at one deck and then we've got too many people like please. I just kind of want to stay on task today, but thank you. You just play like 6 to 8. I saw a video from Seth. They went 5-0 with Hammer Time. Think Hammer will have a comeback? I don't think Hammer will ever be a tier 1 tournament deck again, but it does seem to me that Modern is kind of returning to being. Oh, this is a tough matchup. It seems to be that Modern might return to being a format that you can become you can go back to being like a deck specialist, a Hammer Time specialist, and if that's your thing, you can have a winning record with it. Is going to be my impression. But I think that there are better Mox Opal decks, and I think Hammer is a super beatable archetype if it becomes kind of top tier. So it's kind of a tough deck to be top tier for a long time. Obviously, we can find a Restore Balance soon. We're going to be in good shape. So if I go, I'm just trying to think if I can Profane Tutor and play the rest of my hand. I don't think so because I go Borderpost, replay land, Shredder, but this Inter's tapped. So yeah, let's just go ahead and all of my fetch lands are the same. I don't really need to be sweating like this. And say on turn 4, I'm going to restore some balance to this game. And hopefully I'm not dead by then. Opponent is getting ready to rumble. Thankfully, we see a young wolf, a bowmaster, and a court of calling. No Yawgmoths. No Mill Yawgmoth hit. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Alright, am I playing the Surveil land? I went back and forth on the Surveil land a lot. Okay, no Surveil land. I ended up cutting. I had it as the 23rd land, and then I ended up realizing I could go down a land. Can opponent choose Dried Arbor twice with balance? I mean, they can choose it as their creature and their land. They can choose it as a creature or land, but there's not much reason for them to do it as both, if that makes sense. My opponent says, what? You'll see. I might fetch fail to find. Also, maybe taking the Yogg was bad. Probably not fetch failing to find. Because now they're going to get a Grist, and the Grist is going to be like a little bit of pain. Lanta was good. Huh. Good top deck. Maybe I should take in Green Sun Zenith. Were she just dead this turn and didn't take Yogg? Not necessarily. There's no Young Wolf in play. Okay. Might be dead. They have a lot of toughness to make insect tokens. Have you considered Urza in this deck? Maybe in the side. The main point being that spinning and turning your artifacts into mana. That's an interesting thought. I think that like you really just don't want to play Urza in your balance deck. You know what I mean? Like creatures plus balance are not a combo. They find Young Wolf at GG, yeah. They don't have infinite draws. They're minus a wolf. They can also find Cord though. They're down 2 Cords. Soul Read one of their Codex draws. Maybe. Probably is right to just, well, they do have the Cauldron too. Seems like they are giving up. So we get to restore a little balance. Interesting. Might do it again next turn. You have to sack a land, and you have to sack all of your creatures and discard a card. And now they have their Blood Artist is dead, and this is actually incredible news because they can't combo while the Blood Artist is dead. Fetch Hill to find there would have made sense. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I feel like just because I have the second Besiege, this game is just going to go a bit longer, and I mostly think that I just don't want to trade one Delta for like the fourth worst card in their hand. You know what I mean? Especially because I can still like fetch fail to find next turn, and also if I draw a 1-drop next turn, then and I have a lot of 1-drops in my deck, then I make them discard their entire hand. That was what I was thinking, but not sure. Can also Beseech for Needle, maybe. Although I don't know what I'm supposed to get here. Drawn an Urza Saga. I think I'm gonna Needle the Grist. Only one Needle in the main. Needle gives me 1 turn. Could you expand on that? Because their Blood Artist is dead. They cannot combo kill me. Maybe for turn next turn the insect. Yeah, but I have a Saga token, so the following turn. I'm at 4. Yeah, I have a Saga token. Don't they have Woodland? They could resurrect Blood Earth that way. They don't have, this is Boseiju in play, but yeah, maybe they could have a, okay, they just have a Bowmaster. This matchup's bad. This matchup is bad and not good. All right, so we're gonna bring in Grafdigger's Cage, extra Needle, and the extra discard spells. I think the bridge is gotta go. We can trim a Profane Tutor. And what we did last time was we cut a Beseech and we cut a land. And I think I kind of like that to make a little room. It was lethal with Bowmaster Proliferate. Ah. Fair enough, fair enough. Do you need Pyxis? I'd like to have the Pyxis, I think. Yeah, I think the Exile can be relevant, yeah. I think Bridge can't be cut in this matchup that's almost all creatures. Well, we have Restore Balance. I know we've got... We're a little Lantern Brain to some extent, but we have a plan for creatures, and I think the better plan in this matchup for creatures is Restore Balance. I think Bridge, like, they're just not a deck that's great at attacking, you know? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe having a Bridge is important, but my plan is to balance them out of the game. Well, very Lantern hand. Having Needle is a big deal, too. You said cut a Profane Tutor, but took out a balance. What you mean? I meant cut Beseech, not Profane Tutor. If I said Profane Tutor, I misspoke. I did mean to do what I did. Cut one balance, cut one land, cut one Beseech. Just trim the 4-drop when you trim a land. So Grist in the graveyard there. Do I want to draw this Urza Saga? I guess I could do with that. Let's see what their hand is. They have a Beseech you. They have a Thoughtseize. Seems like I need to take the Force of Vigor. And let's go ahead and just needle that Agatha Soul Cauldron. Yeah, I love that they cast the Wall of Roots here and didn't Beseech you to make me shuffle yet. It is fine if my opponent draws Orcish Bowmaster. Is he Dino 7 game PB 10 days ago? Yeah. We say 7 game. He got to game 7. He's been to game 7 twice now, right? Is this deck villainous? I don't know. Maybe a bit. Alright, so there's a Cauldron they can't activate, but they can activate it if they Beseech you. I don't know if they realize that they are sort of playing into my plan of just beseeching them a little bit, but we'll see. I want to go empty-handed when I cast the Beseech, so let me go ahead and shred myself. Love that being their top card. I guess I could get As Foretold and then cast this, but then I guess it plays into the Thoughtseize, so. Nice, that works. All right, no creatures, no cards. I was able to 5-0 league and almost top 8 an 80-person challenge yesterday with a slight variation of miracles. Awesome, cool. Thank you for the feedback, because I only played like one matches, I think, and then I moved on. All right, well, I think that this deserves a Codex Shred. That's kind of even worse. Tough matchup, I think. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'll take a look. So, I mean, they can shuffle with the Verdant Catacombs, but they're... Oh, they can also activate the Woodland. Looks great. Congrats. What is the reasoning behind this list? The reasoning, Spike. Well, I found that the Restore Balance plan complements the Lantern plan really well, where when you Restore Balance your opponent, it's pretty powerful, but then you just get out top decked a lot. And how do you not get out top decked? You just Lantern them. And also, if you Restore Balance, you don't, it's like, it's totally okay. I'm going to Restore Balance again next turn. I don't know. It's okay to get Restore Balanced. Or if you play the Lantern plan, like none of this dies to your balance, so it complements it well there too. Oh, so I guess Codexing the Dryad was the play there, huh? No. Although here, like, are they going to Placid Mill their Court of Calling? Wow, no activate. Is Borderpost really necessary? Understands Artifact Prestige. Could we play Bobble? Well, it also like it picks up a land, and so it makes your balances better. They're good, I think. I would recommend them. Okay, well now we got a plan. Although this Young Wolf Undying is actually a big problem, though, so let's go ahead and say no to that there. The Vermis with the 20 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, Cursed Totem probably would have been good. Again, this is an early draft. I'm down to add a Cursed Totem to the board. Where is the Tyver Walls deck? You said you would play all of our pet decks next. I've been thinking about that one with Green Sun. I'd like to get back to it at some point, honestly. This is going to be a bit tougher to do also, though, without an As Foretold, but... Oh, right, they have the Thoughtseize. Okay, tough matchup. Let's move on. Obviously, could have played a bit tighter. Remember, Lantern players, you can concede too. And you could do it in either direction, and it's good, if that makes sense. I like that dynamic a lot here too. Okay, so we go discard spell into next turn. Borderpost Lantern, discard spell. Does that make sense? Like you can do the lanterning first and then balance them, or you can balance them and then lantern them. And it's just kind of interchangeable. Another poor matchup, it seems. Yeah, I think we'll take the Dryad. And then take the Titan. Although the Restore Balance plan is good against them, I think. I would hope. Certainly would. And so far it seemed like, another green infinite disenchant matchup. At least we have the Restore Balance plan to complement at least a little bit. Or to, maybe compliment's not the right word, to give us a small chance at victory. So I have a Borderpost on top. They have an Urza Saga. They drew a second copy of Primeval Titan for turn. So I guess now I take the Grazer. How the turntables. Now playing out the As Foretold is kind of sketchy against the Beseech you. Well, maybe they'll Beseech you my Lantern. Zuran Orb is kind of a good pickup, not gonna lie. Although it looks like they're just gonna Beseech you my Lantern. They Beseech you my Borderpost. Well, that's not really like a play that makes any sense. I guess they're just trying to Lantern me, make me shuffle. Gonna play this out now, I guess. I may need to YOLO the Lantern at some point, because I can find either a Beseech or a Restore Balance. I don't know if I need to do that this turn though. Saga's good. Saga's too slow is the problem, because now next turn they get to go like get an Amulet, play a Dryad, and then the following turn they can Titan and kill me. So that's too slow for this to do anything really. I don't want to balance next turn because I want to be able to get rid of the Dryad either from hand or play. So I do think we wait a turn. Also, the upside of like keeping Lantern in play with Saga, like getting a Codex Shredder is really high. Yeah, but now we are going to have to YOLO shuffle. Does the new Thoughtseize that sees the top of their deck go to this deck? Nah, that card costs 2 mana. They got a map instead of an amulet. I don't think they can Titan next turn. Let's draw the Shredder. Another Shredder. Now, I think I'm going to shred the Spelunking here. I think it's a kind of a dangerous card to see. What's the point against Karn? I have Thoughtseize. Have you considered Mystic Forge? Do you think Mystic Forge is good against Karn, or that's just a separate question? Yeah, losing the game is my plan against Karn. Like Lantern has never beat a Resolve Karn ever. Like, there's what has changed. So I don't think I make a Saga token because I do want to try to balance them. Unless they attack. So on my upkeep, I'm going to shred myself. We have 12 cards that let us restore balance. Although a Thoughtseize is just kind of fine. Oh, wait, they have Green Sun and Titan, don't they? So their hand is Titan, Otawara, Green Sun, Mystery card. They have 2 Titans. Okay, sorry about that. Obviously, should be doing a little bit of a better job with that. We do have 12 cards that let us cast a balance off that we could draw here. Profane Tutor, Beseech, and Balance. Alright, grab another lantern. Another lantern. I was not expecting a lantern deck, let alone this kind when I clicked the stream. Well, did you see the title? It's in the title. I'm not sure if Kaheera lets me live. We'll see. Felipe Broncos, the 17 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm liking the new setup. It is temporary, but it's nice for now. Is Kaheera better than Construct? I guess not. Although it's not really that different because my opponent can't haste Titan, I think. Well, I guess they're a mana short. No, they can. No, they can. They can go Hand Orb Battlements, Bounce Land, pick up Battlements, play something. I guess I'm also just dead to any land here. We know they have the Otawara. Bummer. Okay, we'll bring in the Welding Jar. We'll bring in the Damping Spheres. Gonna cut the Inquisitions. Cut the Ensnaring Bridge. Needle Beseju's fine. Yeah, we'll leave in 1 Needle. Got the Pyxis. Cage against Green Sun. I just don't know. If Cage is good against Green Sun, it doesn't do anything against the rest of the deck. I feel like it's not something I need to bring in. How do you kill your point? You mill them out with Codex Shredder, or you can attack them with Kaheera constructs. But they almost always just concede too. Okay, so I have Lantern Shredder. I can restore, but I can Profane Tutor for As Foretold, which is nice. What was the first matchup? Mardu Gorios. Okay, so their hand is a Titan. I think I just need to start writing these down. Slower start over there. Zuran Orb would be a nice pickup, but we need a mana anyways, and we also need to Profane Tutor this turn. Okay, I'm down to go double Shredder to like dig for another land. Vesuva. Amulet. Map. It's pretty good. Take this down. So I think I'm going to need to be shredding myself before anyone else here. So I'm going to let them draw the Pact. Excuse me? You okay? So they shuffle away the Vorinclex. Tom was playing it. I guess I just don't really get it. They draw a Growth Chamber, then there's another chamber on top. Okay, so they put the Arbor into their hands, which is an interesting choice. Now we need to draw a land for our As Foretold that we're trying to... Oh, wait. We shuffle on our upkeep. Right. So we could do this post Profane Tutor. But I'm gonna grab As Foretold. There's a swamp on top. So if I go, I can make them go down to 2 cards in their hand here, which hopefully will be a little bit of a pain. There it is. Titan Vesuva, Summer's Pact, Arbor, 3 mystery card. They discard the Arbor, the Pact, and a Titan. So they still have kept the Vesuva there, which makes sense. Why did my top card change? Wasn't there an SCG on top? What is SCG? SGC? I milled it. Okay, you can draw a Sucker Tribe Scout. Now I need to decide, do I want to draw a Delta or not? How are y'all abbreviating Simic Growth Chamber? I gotta do all the work over here. They can draw the Dryad, I think. Yeah, I mostly want to keep them off of a 6 land for now, I think. So I'm going to be milling that as well. Yeah, I'm just going to try to bank on them not having the extra land. Now I need to think about this Delta. Seems like I just draw it and then I can just draw 1 more land for the Beseech. Seems like a plan. Okay, I will want to sacrifice the sacrifice the Delta to shuffle from the jar, or to shuffle away the jar. But for now, let's just let them draw that Titan. Drizzle Hell with the 39 months. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. So we get a lot of looks at land number 4 here. There's land number 4. So now I want them to not have spells. That's a pretty good one for them to have too. But let's just go ahead and pick this up. Remember, we can just put the Restore Balance into our hand here, so we don't need to sacrifice any of our action. So they're going to go down to no cards in hand. Let's go ahead and mill that Grill Turf. It's kind of like a 2-for-1 for them. How do we feel about this Beseiju? I think I feel okay about it. I have double Shredder and I have double Lantern. And if they kill the As Foretold, I just have enough mana to cast my stuff again. Yeah, seems okay. No, I want to be able to recast As Foretold if they kill this one to keep the island. I also don't need the extra swamp really for anything. Urza's Cave's kind of dangerous. Okay, they can keep a Splunking, I think. Well, I guess they're gonna have to, huh? All right, so now I think we're just kind of committed to you're not drawing any spells. They don't have a spell on top, so we can afford to Lantern ourselves in our upkeep here. Why do you mill the turf? I thought the turf was good for them there, but maybe I'm just kind of off base with that. Do I want to just put As Foretold in play? I can probably just get another Shredder. Yeah, getting Saga could be good because then that's a win condition plus the Shredder, but also if I just get a 3rd Shredder, like it's gonna be very tough for them to ever wiggle their way out of this. Yeah, maybe the Saga was better. Could definitely see that being the case. Okay, so they can draw that Grazer. Okay, the Zuran Orb is really nice pickup. How many? Okay, they conceded the Zuran Orb. Not that I had the balance yet. Yeah, I think Saga probably made sense. It's just like if I get the Shredder, they have to have 4 good things on top instead of 3, which is just like impossible. I don't know. I think both are winning lines, but the Shredder probably does win a little bit more, right? Like kind of a combo. Okay, well we took a game on Titan. They got a lot of good stuff against us though. Oh, the concede was the Saga on top. Yeah, fair. Sometimes I forget they can see the top of my library too. Is there an Asmo list in the works? We've played a few Asmo lists. I think the card is not great at the moment. It's okay. It's kind of good against Demir. Kind of a slow hand, but I kind of like keeping this in a sideboard game where my opponent's just kind of a bit more likely to be on like a reactive hand too. Let's try. I don't know. This could be just silly. Since it can't even necessarily cast a Restore Balance on turn 4. We could maybe even get the Zuran Orb off this. They do have an amulet, so you know if they... Okay, well we drew a Thoughtseize, which is pretty critical. Okay, so they can play Soccer Tribe Scout this turn. 3 mana. Yeah, just took some respect. Kind of surprised they have this in the moment. Add 1 mana of the exiled card's colors. That is pretty cool. Well, gotta avoid a top deck for a couple turns. Okay. 1 top deck avoided. So it is Valakut and Pit Offerings and Gemstone Caverns. Wait. I guess they have the Saga Tribe Scouts. Like, can they not Titan next turn? Okay, so this lets me... Oh, because of the island, I'm actually not going to be able to restore balance. Alright, fade into my own hands. Okay, worth milling. I guess I can Profane Tutor for a land or an Opal. That's probably what we're going to do. I'm still championing Fnatic, Rona, Space, Red, Green, Eldrazi. It seems I'm in Morty. Why do you think Fnatic didn't become the norm even after Ring was banned and 4 jobs could be much easier for power? I mean, just Wumpus kind of sucks. So I think if you're green-red and you play Fnatic, it's fine. But also, like, still, like, being able to play Talisman turn 1 is a pretty big deal, so you can Myco spawn turn 2 a bit more often. Fnatic is good. You can play Fnatic. That card is very powerful. Okay, so they drew up a Seiju. Which means that I can just now Profane Tutor for the Zuran Orb. And the next turn, maybe I can go Profane Tutor for Lantern. Oh, nice. Okay, so let's go pick this up. And then... Yeah, I do have to play it, though. I'm going to sack the Zuran Orb, I think. There is a bridge main, isn't there? We have a bridge main, yeah. I remembered to put Ensnaring Bridge in my Lantern Brew. I'm a very experienced modern gamer. Bye-bye. No cards, no lands, no creatures. Don't want to suspend this because of the As Foretold. Bet y'all forgot about Kaheera. All right, 2 lands in a row. Do they have 3 lands in a row? They do have 3 lands in a row, so we got a game. No green mana, though. Yeah, they do have another amulet, but it's not doing too much with the damping sphere out there. I guess I'm going to wait on the Thoughtseize because I could maybe want to get the fungus. I think I'm still just down to like mill any lands. Definitely want to mill that one. Okay, so they have successfully found a land, although it's another colorless one at least. Grazer, fungus, green sun. Let's take the fungi. The fun guy. So we could keep the Mox Opal for the express purpose of casting Kaheera. I think instead I want to really find another Shredder so badly. As Foretold is kind of okay. Doesn't make me regret putting the Kaheera into my hand here. Oh, did not want to do that. There's another Shredder on top, which is good. So I can make them discard just one. Yeah, this doesn't seem great. Can we just let them Crumbling Vestige? Yeah, I'd rather let them draw a Vorinclex. Now, I sacked my Zuran Orb, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this Profane Tutor exactly. They're casting a spell. That green sun for green. Yeah, if they get a green sun, I'm just going to restore balance whatever they get here. Kaheera kind of getting in the way here, huh? Does balance make them select Arbor land? They could choose Arbor as a land or a creature, but not... or both, but they wouldn't really want to choose both because then they don't get to keep a creature. It's kind of weird. They discarded Vorinclex? Weird. So last card in hand is just a Dryad Arbor right now. Alright, we beat Titan. I beat the normal Lantern. Can't do that often. Restore balance complements this plan really well. It's... you know, I've been saying for a long time I wouldn't play Lantern unless I had an idea for it. Here's an idea for it to all the Lantern perverts out there. It's 2025 and companions are still broken. Let's we don't have to have this conversation every single time. And if you can play a companion, you should still, and that has still not changed. I don't really care much about Harbinger. I don't care. I have nothing that gets spell snared. Profane Tutor doesn't get spell snared, so that's a blank card. I just take the Murktide, right? Yeah, Giganta being in the not being in the format's good. I agree. It's 2025. Play the companion. I don't. You know, how long do we need to talk about this? You did not draw a Spell Pierce or a Force of Negation. Ooh, there's a Saga on top. Kind of shocked that they fetched there. Unearth's like a little annoying. I just don't really care about the Harbinger too much, I guess. Alright, so yeah, let's just go ahead and cast the As Foretold this turn. I guess they can cycle the Unearth. Is there mystery card a counterspell? Might be. There's also like kind of an equally high chance they're just reading, you know what I mean? Okay, cycle Unearth, draw an Unearth. And then there's an Oculus. I really want them to cast this Oculus next turn. I don't think I want it to do that so badly that I want to mill the Oculus for them to unearth it, because they can still have counterspell up. Okay, they did cast the Harbinger. This is also, I mean, it kills our Saga, obviously, which is not great. They go down to land, they go down to one card in their hand. That might be Oculus. Could be Oculus. Oh no, it should have been Unearth as the last card. I guess it still can be. Still can be. That's okay though, we have the Beseech in hand, so we can try to dig for a land with the Shredder. That Force is not so good for me though. Wow, wait, no, okay, I guess they can't cast the Force at least. And then they're gonna manifest over it. The Zuran Orb is kind of nice. Let's see what happens with the manifest before I decide if I'm gonna shred over it, because we do need a land pretty bad. I guess they may also like scour me and draw the Force, but it looks like they are gonna manifest instead. Then there's another consider. So we're gonna draw the Zuran Orb, cast the Zuran Orb. I'm pretty locked in on shredding myself. We don't need to do that right now. I'm gonna risk it for the Biscuit player. Well, the Biscuit for me is like getting to like put them into a spot where they have no lands either. Okay, so they it says Harbinger into the reveal zone, so I think they just drew a Harbinger. Which is fine. 3 looks at land with Shredder here, yeah. Technically 4. Because we have the Lantern also. Okay, so they can't. Yeah, I think we just need to find the land. We're not going to be able to mill this counterspell here. Kind of tough that was the one other card, huh? No, we didn't know what the manifest card was. Alright, come on, lands. Got a lot of looks. There we go. Alright, nice. You know, I've played a few Restore Balance decks in my day. I've never really played a build like this where it's just like you can cast Restore Balance and the game is just over, they have no chance. Like they're just completely locked out immediately from the Lantern. Okay, so we're just gonna put the Restore Balance in our hand here. Because we can cast it off the As Foretold. You gain 2 life. You gain 2 life. You gain 2 life. You got cards in hand. You got creatures in play. You got lands in play. You used to. You used to have those things. But it says, am I dead? Probably. That was good enough for them, baby. That was good enough. Alright, I do think this is a good bridge matchup. X-Test me doesn't know how to hold priority. Well, I thought about holding priority, and then I was like, what's the point? So if you could tell me the point of holding priority there. Maybe cut a Saga against the Harbinger. If you could tell me the point of holding priority, like an upside there, I will start doing it. But I couldn't really figure out one. I'm gonna go use the restroom, mirror back.
Hi, bye.
Okay, on the draw for game 2 against Demir. Let's go. Okay, well, looks okay. Let's keep. Surveilling. Graveyarding a counterspell. Definitely a sign that they need some lands. Maybe I should have fetched a swamp. Because then if they Harbinger me on turn 3, I could be stuck on double black. Although if they tap out for Harbinger next turn, we can, you know, slam a bridge. People often mention Frog and Arena combination. Can Footfall Crater be a nicer, easier way to associate your Frog? You sound a little lost to the sauce, my friend. Frog and Arena are bad. I don't understand how. Oh, Footfall Crater, like the haste card? Like Frog is, you know, this is a kind of a classic lesson. Psychic Frog is an insane card, incredibly unbalanced, like just like way too good. And you don't need to play shitty cards like Footfall Craters to make Frog better. You know, it's like your Frog is good. You don't it doesn't need help. All right, so there's a good chance I do tutor up the As Foretold, so I guess I'll get an island here anyways. But I'm just gonna start casting bridges as like 3 mana discarded counterspell kinda. For some reason I thought you were saying crashing footfalls. Yeah, but just like you don't need to play shitty cards to make your generically good cards good. Like, they try to cast that so fast. Just play Anger, discard a Frog. Dude, how I wish Anger were legal. They graveyard another Frog here. They have another Unearth, but is it going to be Restore Balance time? It's kind of nice to like at least get the As Foretold into play. I'm going to tutor up As Foretold, of course. If they have Force of Negation, you know, we'll have the bridges maybe. Yeah, I definitely don't want to print Anger into the format now that looting is legal, I agree. Was really hoping to draw a land so that I could like play the Lantern, but now I'm going to have to discard a card. I guess it'll be another bridge if this does resolve. It might get forced. I'd actually kind of like if it got forced, maybe. Certainly wouldn't hate it. Although you would have thought they would have, you know, maybe forced the As Foretold. You mean Bowmaster Flump isn't a good combo? And this is a little different, right? Like Splinter Twin isn't a very good card, and maybe this isn't a great example because that deck Twin is not doing so well. But yeah, Twin isn't a very good card individually, but an infinite combo is an infinite combo. Ooh, explosives on one. Thoughtseize on top. I think we just have to play this. Oh, that's my library. Sorry, I thought that was their Thoughtseize. Okay, they have a Sewers. Gonna keep Force of Negation. They graveyard Force of Negation. I wouldn't have necessarily expected that. Okay, then they play an Oculus. So this Thoughtseize isn't gonna do too much, but we'll just, you know, we'll cast it and then we'll restore balance and just get rid of this. This counterspell on top is kind of scary. The Shredder's good though. Oh wait, they do have the explosives. Maybe that Shredder's not so good. Oh wait, sorry. For some reason I thought they had 2 cards in their hand there. Well, I think it's okay. It would have been better to probably just cast the Restore Balance on. Probably cast Kaheera next turn. Well, do you have this bridge in play? How many ways do they have to remove bridge? It should just be like sink into the stupor. Yeah, I think we just need to make them pop the explosives, probably. Get through that. A lot of us running Borrower. Oh, we've entered that stage of the cycle. Yeah, maybe an Otawara. Yeah, I don't know why they have push in the deck. Not the best sideboarding, maybe. Maybe it just has nothing else to bring in. Okay, I'll keep another Shredder. What is the plan for the energy matchup? Lantern and Balance, baby. It's in the title. The plan for every matchup. And it seems like a balance seems pretty good against them, and you got some bridges too, maybe. Less good against them. They do have a counterspell. I don't want to put Kaheera into play because I want to be able to balance here. We maybe get to like shred something back end of turn. Just find a wait on. Maybe bad if they have a Thoughtseize. But they have a counterspell, so I think just waiting till we draw something that needs to be countered is maybe going to be a bit better. Obviously, like also like this Murktide isn't doing much with the whole restore balance situation. Did they have counterspell? Yeah, I was thinking about just trading the restore balance for the counterspell and decided against it. That's okay. If I draw a lantern, like I'll probably bait with restore balance. Does this deck also fall over against Meltdown? Meltdown is good against the deck. You can still balance, which is good, and it doesn't kill As Foretold, which is good. And you have your discard spells and you have your lantern plan. But yes, Meltdown is good against this deck. I just go up to the full 8 discard spells against like Meltdown, Oof, Stony is kind of the current plan. I can also potentially buy something back into turn with the Shredder. Yeah, this is certainly not the deck I've built to beat Meltdown. They scour themselves. Yeah, Meltdown's also like less popular, that's true. They unearth an Oculus. I think I'm going to grab another copy of Ensnaring Bridge. My wager is just setting for Bridge Palace. That's a good wager because they have no other possible way to win. I would agree. Didn't they just increase our clock by a lot? They did. I mean, the thing is they need bridge bounce to be lethal in one swing, so I think it does make sense for them to play this. This is gonna get countered, but we're trying to overwhelm their mana a bit here, and I guess we've failed to do that because they have the consign. Well, they have a counterspell, so it doesn't seem wise to balance still. Although, what would be good about balancing is if we drew another balance, we could play it. So there's something there. Ah, they had the sync. Okay, game 3. Atlanta was good. I didn't want to pick Thoughtseize up because if they had double counterspell, it was pretty bad. Atlanta was fun. Yeah, Padim, baby. Alright, on the blade. I think I like this one enough to click the keep button. We're going to lead on Saga here, especially against the Harbinger of the Seas deck. I feel like a lot of these games are losing or winnable, very hard to play though. Yeah, of course, especially for an early draft. I didn't play around Consign. Yeah, I could have grabbed Beseech instead, and I agree that was more likely to win the game, it seems. A Toast with the 48 months. That's such a long time. Thank you so much. Oh, welcome back. I wonder if my opponent is going to tap out for something and we can just like Zuran Orb balance them maybe. Those 2 counter spells. Okay, instead we're going to get a basic swamp. We drew a lantern, so I guess we can get the orb now. Get Nihil Spellbomb also, really slow them down. Let's get the orb. Kind of think I am baiting with the As Foretold instead of the lantern too. They have Dispute Consign, that's tough. Okay, they don't have that. Yeah, I don't think we cared that much about Consign. It seems like they don't care that much about it either, and they're shuffling. They graveyard a land, definitely not going to mill the land for them if they're going to graveyard one here. Yeah, so if they tapped out here, I'd be digging for a land with the Shredder, but they're just holding up mana, so we'll just play a second Shredder here. Don't want to play the As Foretold into the open mana. Could maybe go As Foretold into Profane Tutor next turn. Good morning, good morning. Is Bobble playable here? There's not a lot of room in this deck. I mean, it'd be playable if deck sizes were like 70, 80 cards maybe, but like I don't, it doesn't seem very realistic to cut anything for Bobble to me. I feel like if I let them have the Consign, I'll end up regretting it. Consign can counter Profane, not if you cast it off As Foretold, but it doesn't seem super likely the As Foretold's resolving. I'm gonna mill it here. What's our path to victory? You mill them with Mox, with Codex Shredder, or you mill them with Codex Shredder, or you attack with Saga tokens or Kaheera. How do you do in Atlanta? I missed day 2. Missed day 2. Have fun. Another one, huh? I think I'll mill the Spell Pierce. Alright, let's let them have the Spell Pierce, I think. Let's let them have the Oculus too, because if they tap out for it, then we're kind of in good shape. Okay, they discard Unearth, cycle Unearth. Wait, how did they mill the Oh, they milled the Oculus to the Shredder already. Oh no. So do you think some changes could make this deck tournament playable? That's kind of for you to decide and kind of think for yourself, I think. This is my first league with the deck. It seems okay. You know, it seems okay. It seems way better than regular Lantern, probably. So I know they have a Spell Pierce. There's explosives on top is kind of scary, but we can mill it. So this turn, I'm going to Inquisition them and see what it is I have to play through. I know we don't have that much time. Yeah, we have like one turn. Okay, they Spell Pierce this. I'm going to go ahead and pay. Grab Inquisition, cast the Inquisition. Because this is an Oculus, so they're going to hit me for 12. Can gain some life. Okay. So we just need them to not draw anything big here. Good draw Frog. They did draw the Frog. They didn't shuffle. How is deck building with Oilus Celia for Moto? It's kind of the same as it's been, because I've just been going through Moxfield instead of Magic Online for a while now. Shouldn't we be milling ourselves for land here so we can go restore balance into Beseech for balance? Maybe. I mean, it's more important that I mill the... I have to mill the explosives, so... maybe end of turn we can mill ourselves. I think we're going to get this one. Unless I've missed something. Is this not an Oculus? Maybe they just don't feel like they need to change their clock at all. Oh, you meant Lester said John the Tutor? I just thought the Tutor was good. I don't know. Like this was, I wanted to Inquisition them, and like knowing they have the Spell Pierce, I thought the Tutor was kind of good to play around it. Like playing for Beseech plus Balance while we know they have Pierce just seemed a little weird. Okay, there's a Lantern. I guess I'll just draw the Lantern. Because well, I guess I don't even need to mill on Earth. Good. I guess we'll see. They have a Thought Scour on top. Okay, we could mill here. That's an okay card for them to draw. Okay, I do not really want another Beseech. Okay, well, that's not the worst either. Thoughts on War and Instigator plus Arena of Glory. So this is something I had built off stream during like the MH3 era, and I talked a lot about it on stream. This idea, I tweeted this idea like 4 or 5 months ago, and I thought it was sick and very, very cool, and I really wanted it to be good. But I just it gets blocked by Ocelot Pride and Psychic Frog, and at the time Amtraptor, that one's gone. Got blocked by Johnny, and it got blocked by a Boreal Grazer. So I just found it to be kind of bad against the format, which is, bad in general, right? I found it to be bad, I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to keep them off lands. Tutor Saga. The thing is, I want to balance this last land away. So Tutoring Saga is a little weird here. Yeah, I think this deck is really cool. I'm pretty into it. Okay, they scour themselves. No land. No unearth. Could have a Nihil Spellbomb. Actually, it's a little weird. Okay, so we are 3-1 in our first Lantern Balance League. Let's get a 4-1 prediction going. What's our win con? You just mill them with Codex Shredder. That's the main one. You also have Saga tokens, Kaheera. Normal Lantern stuff. Well, I'm going to click this keep button. This hand looks pretty good. Yeah, the two plans just complement each other so well. Funny enough, I did not start off brewing Lantern here. I did start off trying to build a Besiege balance deck now that Ring is gone. Hey, Dino. You want your bed? Dino, what if I put it on the table? Yeah, she loves that. Okay, opponent's on a mold of 5. What if you had a blanket too? Think this deck is better than regular Lantern? I think it is like clearly better than regular Lantern, if I'm gonna be quite blunt. I think this deck is clearly much better. The balance plan is insane with this plan. It's much more powerful than Lantern. You have just an oops, I win button, which is always a good thing to have. Wonder what they're playing. Like, we beat Titan, and it didn't like really seem that tough. Whoa, they didn't play a land. What do you? I'm gonna mill you. Ah! Mistakes were made, I guess. Tutor Lantern. I want to see what I draw first. Okay, I think I'm gonna grab Zuran Orb. And the next turn, tutor the Profane Tutor. Please consider your headphone viewers. I am. Y'all, like, I know y'all can tab over once you hear me yell. Judge should be able to bridge. No, they could be bridged with Conflagrate plus the Creeping Chills, right? Well, we can also probably find a bridge later. This is kind of weird. Just stick it to the plan here. We don't really want them to discard. Well, they have their hand definitely has enablers that are 2 mana. They definitely have like Cathartic Reunion in their hand, so discarding that is good. Also, discarding them down to 1 means they can't Cathartic Reunion. They did concede also, so this line didn't end up being that bad, I guess. All right, let's bring in the Welding Jar. Let's bring in the Cage. Let's bring in the extra Graveyard Hate. Extra Bridges seem fine. I might just cut all the discard. Seems fine. The actual Nightmare matchup? I don't know if this is the Nightmare matchup. Maybe. I don't know. This is a weird one. Certainly a weird one. Yeah, I'm pretty proud to just come back after a weekend in Atlanta playing Modern and just boom, shit this out. Oh yeah, cut the needle. Sorry, I guess we could play. I like to cut the balance post-board a lot because, so I guess we have the Zuran, we have the As Foretold. How did Dredger's Lantern go back in the old days? I don't know. Probably in favor to Dredge. It seems insane. It's the first deck they maybe consider buying Mopals. No, I hear you. Listen. There's been a lot of people going, Mox Opal is getting banned again for sure. And I guess they just had the vision of this deck, huh? This is the deck they were talking about for sure. But it's on a mold of 5. Unironically, enjoy the occasional streamer shout. Yeah, I think shouting when it's appropriate is good. I have fun with it too. I try not to yell too loud. I was at SCG Con. I missed day 2 of the main event and then went to the aquarium on Sunday. So, kind of like a little vacation, I guess. Awesome, Don. Very cool. Yeah, that Jeskai deck's pretty sweet. I guess I'm going to start keeping track of stuff. So their hand is an Imp. I saw some cool fish. I saw some African red-eyed tetras that I may try to get for my aquarium actually. I haven't really done any research about them, so if it's like the African red-eye fish, for every African red-eyed tetra, 1,000 children die. If that's the case, then I will not be purchasing them, just as a heads up. Sorry, I should probably have built this Wooded Foothills. I was too busy doing a bit. There's another one over there. So they mill a Thug, and they mill this Imp. And there's a Creeping Chill on top. Probably don't want to mill that one. Do I still want to draw this Codex Shredder? Not really, I guess. Welding Jar would be okay. I think we'd do a little bit better. Okay, Zuran Orb is perfect. What if this deck had Counterbalance in it? What if? That is kind of sick. You control the top of your library. Although the thing is, they'll never, like, they see what's on top of your library, so they just get to play around their Counterbalance for whatever that's worth. What is the conduction goal for the next 24-hour stream? If I'm really desperate for money and I'm really broke, I'll do one. Beyond that, I don't really see it happening. I think I'll mill the looting. Guess I actually should have sacked the Delta, huh? Yeah, I'm in my summer home. It's a bit too cold in Texas at the moment. My cabin. Am I still coming back next turn? Yeah, but I've got the bridge. So my goal here is to just stop them from ever drawing a land. That's that, and if I could do that, then then they can't Nature's Claim my bridge, and I've gained enough life off the Zuran Orb that they can't like Creeping Chill or Conflagrate me to death. Although I do have this Ensnaring, this, you know, I can't cast this. Okay, thankfully no 3 lands in a row. You know, there's hand. I think their hand is 3 dredgers at the moment. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a very good Lantern player. Or maybe I just don't have the patience. Because I'm not a doctor. Girl, why is you lying? Girl, why you Mufasa? Okay. 4-Wonder First League, pretty good. How could you use here? I don't know. And this is this deck. I love that you can balance first, you can Lantern first. It's kind of interchangeable. The 2 plans complement each other so well. You have a lot of redundancy with 8 tutors, and like also your own library manipulation. Pretty fun. Open Nephelia. This card's getting a bit better in Modern. I also love this Sun Petal Grove art. Very nostalgic for me. Oh wait, let's add a Cursed Totem.